Apple made a plentitude of announcements this morning with very little fanfare. Instead of a big invite-only media event, they released the news and then some products to a handful of journalists. Here's the biggest news. A cheaper iPad. Apple replaced the iPad Air with a new 9.7-inch iPad simply called the iPad. It will be thicker, heavier, and faster with an A9 chip. It starts at $329 for 32 gigabytes and $429 for 128 gigabytes. Everyone is thrilled at the news except my dad, who just replaced his old iPad with a 9.7-inch iPad Pro for $600. He actually asked his daughter, the iOS expert, "You don't think any new iPads are coming out anytime soon, do you?" I was like, no, I haven't heard a thing about it.
Brutal.
So, I know. So Apple also announced a special edition Project Red iPhone 7. It costs $100 more than the regular iPhone 7. Every purchase of the Red iPhone contributes to the Global Fund to support HIV/AIDS programs. And finally, this is only the third thing. I told you there was a plentitude.
So much.
Say goodbye to the 16 gigabyte iPhone. Apple released 2 new iPhone SEs with double the storage at 32 gigabytes and 128 gigabytes, but no other changes. And finally, Apple teased a new app that will probably come out with iOS 10.3. It's called Clips. It's essentially Snapchat. They say it's a new app for making and sharing fun videos. Okay, so let's start with your thoughts on new iPad, the iPad.
Well, what can I say here? I feel bad for your dad for one thing, but I don't know. It's a little lackluster. There were rumors of an iPad Mini coming out with pro features. There's and this makes sense. It makes sense that do a little bit of a spec bump, drop the price, get more people to buy it. The iPad's had stagnating sales for a while. I think one of the issues for investors, more so maybe than Apple itself, is that people hold on to their iPads for a really long time. In some cases, 5 or 6 years, longer than you hold on to even a laptop. So they're not replacing them every year or two the way they would a smartphone. So I don't see this like juicing up the sales in a significant way to change that bell curve, but it's a good move on Apple's part. The price cut is great. The spec bump is great. Getting rid of the Air name makes sense. You just have the Pro, you have the regular model. But it isn't any of the like really wowing stuff you wanted to see, at least I wanted to see. So I guess it makes sense that it would be kind of a quiet update online rather than a big event.
Mm-hmm. So none of the Apple things were anything that you wanted to see, or just the iPad wasn't?
No, pretty much none of this. Well, okay. Getting rid of the 16 gigabyte iPhone, that I wanted to see. I want to say thank you, Apple, but really, this is something they should have done a long time ago in many ways. I mean, when the first 16 gigabyte model came out, it wasn't enough storage back then. Mm-hmm. So I think it's great that they're giving people more bang for their buck, so to speak, here. But I wonder if some of that had simply to do with like supply chain commitments, and they years ago committed to buying memory this far out or something. But no, I think that's a good announcement. But yeah, the sort of stuff that I want to see really wasn't quite addressed today.
Yeah. Well, the 16 gigabyte iPhone, I've told, was used in the enterprise a lot. Like people would use it as a work phone. We don't want you to store everything, all your stuff on here. We just want you to be able to have an iPhone. But I don't know. I mean, just the operating system alone is so big that you could really fit nothing. And if you're going to use it for the enterprise, you're probably going to have software on it, maybe like Slack or, HipChat, something like that.
Exactly.
So that wouldn't even fit.
Allow people to be productive. Give them the space to do their work. Give them the documents, whatever it is you want to give. So I don't buy that excuse.
Okay. What about the red iPhone? I think it looks nice.
Well, that I like. I think the red iPhone looks really, really cool. But I kind of wish it had a black face instead of the white front. But I'd love to see one in person. The red sure does look sharp, and now I have like this dark gray case. In the past, I usually go with a red case, so I like this. And how much of the proceeds are going to go to Project Red to support AIDS research?
Well, generally, they don't say on the website, on the Apple website. I went to the Project Red website, and traditionally it's 50% of the profit goes the company that makes the product Red, whether it be a sweater or an iPhone or an iPhone case, they give it to the Global Fund, and the Global Fund uses 100% of that, no overhead, for AIDS research and AIDS programs. So Burke says $50, but I don't know. But that's the question. It's like, what's the profit on an iPhone? Like, I don't know. Is it the profit can't be just $100?
Well, this is Apple's most profitable product. This is where they make the majority of their revenue, right? So with that $100 spec bump, it would have been nice to see Apple really come out in the clear and say, listen, this $100, that's all going to Project Red. We're not going to give any of our profit margins away. We still got to pay our bills and do what we got to do. But this $100 is going specifically to Project Red. They didn't necessarily make that clear or transparent. You know, it'd be nice if the company did at some point. Or, hey, you know, Bono, send a tweet or something, man. Let us know. But yeah, with that $100 price bump, you got to wonder, is only $50 of that going to Apple and $50 going to Project Red, or all of it?
And you made a good point of, you know, they're not making as many red iPhones as they are the glossy or the matte. And so maybe the profit margin would be smaller.
Yes. Yeah. You know, the more gold iPhones they make, the cheaper it is to make a gold iPhone. The more black iPhones they make, the cheaper it is to make a black one. And it seems like all the Project Red stuff, whether it's from the Gap or whether it's from Apple, is a little bit more limited run. So I could see them arguing that, hey, our profit margins are going to be slimmer on this one because we got to get that red anodization or whatever. But again, that's not really clear to the consumer. So it would be nice to know where your money's going.
Exactly. So did we cover everything? Oh, the Clips app that's not out yet. It looks like you can send fun videos, overlays.
It's hard to judge that until we can try it, right?
Yeah.
But an app that allows you to make videos for other social networks, I mean, that's a utility, but it also seems kind of a little like, why? You know, I mean, especially in part that what Apple offers to iPhone users and buyers is an app store full of creativity and third parties that are just going to give you cool stuff like this, right? So I do kind of wonder, like, what apps could they possibly put out of business in releasing this?
Yeah, I heard somebody, I think it was on the USA Today news. They have a podcast and called Talking Tech, and he made the point that Apple doesn't have that many apps that people use regularly, not as much as Snapchat or Facebook. But that, I mean, is that true? Like, what about messages? You know, I mean, more people must use messages than Snapchat.
Oh yeah, iMessages is hugely popular, and the most popular mapping app on iOS is actually Apple Maps. Despite it having a history of not being great, it's kind of turned a corner, gotten a lot better in the last few years, and a lot of people just use what's the default. So, yeah, you know, maybe there's not dozens and dozens of apps that people are going to every day, but stuff like iMessage, stuff like your camera, some of those things are indispensable.
Yeah, or notes. I mean, that's the thing. Like Apple, like Apple Maps. Apple had a lot of apps that started out kind of cruddy, like they weren't that great, but then they saw all these independent app makers and how they did things, and now they're the thing. I mean, you use Notes. I use Notes. It's
every day.
It's built in. It's easy. It's syncable across everything.
I used to hate Notes and reminders and iCloud in general, but I rely on it every single day now.